Sarah Martinez pulls into the parking lot of Mechoopda Casino for her Thursday evening shift. She's been a slot attendant here since opening day, but tonight, the lights are off. A sign on the door reads, "Operation suspended indefinitely. Final day January 31st, 2025. 11 months. That's how long this casino lasted, not 11 years. 11 months. $64 million spent to build it. 25 years of planning. 500 slot machines. 64 workers. All of it. Gone in less than a year. And here's what should terrify every Californian watching this. This isn't an isolated incident. This is just the beginning of California's casino collapse. And Governor Gavin Newsom? Completely silent. Welcome to the story the mainstream media refuses to cover. If you want to understand what's really happening to California's economy, hit that subscribe button right now. On January 31st, 2025, the Mechoopda Casino officially shut down. Let me give you the numbers that should make your blood boil. This casino opened in February 2024. That's 11 months ago. The Mechoopda Indian tribe had been working on this project for over 25 years. 25 years of planning, permits, legal battles. They fought Butte County officials for over a decade just to get approval. They finally received their gaming compact with the state in 2018. The casino itself? A 42,000 square foot facility, 500 slot machines. The Honey Run Cafe, the Moonlight Bar, everything you'd expect from a tribal casino operation. And then, 11 months later, it's over. 64 people lost their jobs overnight, not laid off with warning, not given severance packages, just gone. Dennis Ramirez, the tribal chairman, called it a heart-wrenching decision. Heart-wrenching doesn't even begin to describe what this means for the 560 members of the Mechoopda tribe, but here's what makes this truly alarming. Are you ready for this? A representative from the National Indian Gaming Commission said casino closures like this are uncommon. Read that again. The federal regulator whose entire job is to oversee tribal casinos across America says this is uncommon. When the government says something is uncommon, pay attention. Something is fundamentally broken. Drop a comment below right now. Tell me what state you're watching from. I want to know if your area is experiencing this casino crisis too, or if California is uniquely destroying its own economy. So what killed this casino in 11 months? The official statement from the tribe is vague. External factors made continued operations unsustainable. That's corporate speak for "we're not telling you the real reason." But let me tell you what's really happening. Because this isn't just about one casino. This is about the perfect storm destroying California's entire gambling industry. First, competition. The Mechoopda Casino had to compete with two other tribal gaming operations in Butte County. Feather Falls Casino, owned by the Moortown Rancheria of Medu Indians, and Gold Country Casino and Hotel owned by the Berry Creek Rancheria of Medu Indians. Think about that. 3 casinos, same county. All competing for the same customers in a rural area between Chico and Oroville. Feather Falls has been operating since 1996. They have 850 slot machines, blackjack and poker tables, a microbrewery, restaurants, a lodge, and an award-winning KOA campground. They've had nearly 30 years to build customer loyalty. Gold Country has been there for years too. Both of these casinos are established. They have brand recognition, regular customers, marketing budgets. And then Mechoopda opens. Brand new, no track record, and a tent structure. With just 500 slot machines, no table games. The market couldn't support 3 casinos, and the newest one lost. But competition isn't the only problem. There's something much bigger happening, and Governor Newsom doesn't want you to know about it. While Mechoopda was struggling, California's entire gambling industry was under attack. And I mean that literally. Let me show you the 3 wars happening simultaneously that are destroying casinos across California. War number 1. Tribes versus card rooms. In September 2024, Governor Gavin Newsom signed Senate Bill 549, which allows California's casino-owning tribes to sue card rooms. Card rooms are California's non-tribal gambling facilities. There are about 80 of them scattered across the state. They offer poker and other card games, but not slot machines. For years, tribes have claimed that card rooms are illegally offering games like blackjack that should be exclusive to tribal casinos. On January 3, 2025, 7 of California's wealthiest tribes filed a massive lawsuit against dozens of card rooms. But here's where this gets catastrophic. These card rooms aren't just random businesses. They are the economic backbone of entire cities. Hawaiian Gardens, the smallest city in Los Angeles County, gets 78% of their city budget from the Gardens Casino. Bell Gardens gets 50% from the Bicycle Casino. Commerce gets 40 to 50% from Commerce Casino. When card rooms are sued and potentially shut down, entire cities face bankruptcy. We're talking about police departments gutted, fire services slashed, libraries closed, youth programs eliminated. And Governor Newsom signed the bill that made this possible. While tribes were suing card rooms in October 2025, Governor Newsom signed Assembly Bill 831, banning online sweepstakes casinos entirely. The vote was unanimous. 36-0 in the Senate. 63-0 in the Assembly. Not a single legislator voted against it. These sweepstakes casinos were online platforms where Californians could play casino-style games for real money prizes. California represented 17.3% of the entire United States sweepstakes casino market, with annual player purchases totaling $2.42 billion. And now, all of them are gone. High Five Casino, Steakhouse, Pulse, Mikluck, Wow Vegas. Over 14 platforms announced their exit. The deadline is January 1, 2026. If you still have money in one of these accounts, you better withdraw it before it's gone forever. The industry claims this ban strips $1 billion out of California's economy and eliminates 1,200 tech jobs. On top of lawsuits and bans, California's Attorney General proposed new regulations that would destroy how card rooms operate. In October 2025, a judge blocked the tribe's lawsuit against card rooms, saying federal gambling laws superseded the state measure Newsom signed. But the fight isn't over. The tribes are appealing. The regulations are still being proposed. And card rooms are spending millions trying to survive. All three of these battles are happening at the exact same time. Tribal casinos suing card rooms, sweepstakes casinos being banned. New regulations threatening to finish off whatever survives. It's a three-front war. And casinos like Mechoopda got caught in the crossfire. If you're as angry as I am about this, smash that like button and share this video. People need to understand what's actually happening right now. Now let's talk about Governor Gavin Newsom. Because his role in this disaster is exactly what you'd expect. Nothing. Newsom signed the bill allowing tribes to sue card rooms. He signed the bill banning sweepstakes casinos. But when it comes to addressing the actual economic fallout, silence. Where's the plan for the 64 Mechoopda workers who lost their jobs? Where's the support for tribal communities losing their primary revenue source? Where's the economic relief for cities that might go bankrupt when card rooms close? There is none. Newsom loves to talk about California being a model for the nation. A place where progressive policies create prosperity and opportunity. But drive out to Butte County and talk to the former Mechoopda casino employees. Ask them about prosperity. Ask them about opportunity, they'll tell you the truth. California isn't a model, it's a warning. A warning about what happens when politicians prioritize ideology over reality. When regulations strangle innovation. When governments pick winners and losers instead of letting the free market decide. The Mechoopda Casino spent $64 million. They employed 64 people in a rural community that desperately needed jobs. They brought tax revenue and economic activity to an area with limited options, and it lasted 11 months. Let me tell you who this really hurts. It's not the big tribal casinos near Los Angeles and San Diego. California is number one in the entire nation for tribal gaming revenue, generating $12.1 billion. The mega casinos like Pechanga, San Manuel, and Pala are doing just fine. The ones getting crushed are the smaller operations, the rural tribes. The communities with no other economic options. When the Mechoopda Casino closed, it wasn't just the slot machines that went dark. The Honey Run Cafe shut down. The Moonlight Bar closed. 64 jobs vanished from a community that had nothing else. Tribal casinos aren't like corporate casinos. The revenue doesn't go to shareholders on Wall Street. It goes directly to tribal members. It funds schools, healthcare, housing, infrastructure. The Mechoopda tribe has 560 members. For 25 years, they worked toward economic self-sufficiency. They fought through legal battles, secured their gaming compact, built their facility, and 11 months later, it's gone. Their primary path to economic development erased. Now what? Where do those 560 tribal members turn for opportunity? Where do the 64 laid-off workers find new jobs in rural Butte County? The answer is nowhere. Because there are no other options. and this is happening all across California. Small tribal casinos that can't compete with the mega resorts. Card rooms facing lawsuits. Cities losing their tax base. Workers losing their livelihoods. So what happens next? More closures. That's what happens. The Mechoopda casino is just the first domino. Analysts are predicting that 30 to 40% of California's smaller casinos will either shut down or consolidate in the next 5 years. The tribe's lawsuit against card rooms is working through the courts right now. If they win, cities could lose hundreds of millions in tax revenue. We're talking about municipal bankruptcies. Police and fire departments slashed. Public services eliminated. The sweepstakes ban takes full effect January 1, 2026. Billions in economic activity, gone. Thousands of tech jobs, eliminated. And what's Governor Newsom's plan to address any of this? There isn't one. California has a pattern. The housing crisis. The homelessness epidemic. The exodus of businesses to other states. And now the casino industry collapse. In every case, the warning signs were obvious years in advance. In every case, politicians kicked the can down the road. And in every case, working people paid the price. The Mechoopda casino employed people who couldn't get jobs in Silicon Valley or Hollywood. It provided revenue to a community that had nothing else. It gave a tribal nation a path to economic dignity. And because of regulatory paralysis, market saturation, and political cowardice, that's all crumbling. 11 months. That's all it took for 25 years of work to disappear. So here's my question for you. Do you think Governor Newsom should be held accountable for California's casino crisis? What should he actually do to help these communities and workers? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from real people who understand what's at stake, not politicians reading talking points. If you made it this far, you're clearly someone who cares about what's really happening in California. Don't leave without subscribing. This channel covers the stories the mainstream media refuses to touch. Share this video with someone who needs to know the truth, because 64 workers just lost their jobs. A tribal community just lost their future. And somewhere in California right now, another casino worker is wondering if they're next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.